you ever wondered how people can immediately, as soon as you speak, tell that you are not from somewhere? You're not from where they're from. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at some of the telltale signs that people are listening for that can identify you as someone who is a natural native speaker or as someone who has learned the language. We're going to be doing that by taking a look at some audio files that you have sent to us and giving you some suggestions. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Schwa Mill. This is your American English pronunciation review show, typically held on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, right around 7 a.m. New York. And to guide you in this process, this deep dive into pronunciation, there is me. Hello, guys. My name is Geoff. It rhymes with breath. That's one of the 4 keys to a natural sound in American English, including placement, pitch, breath, trying to weaken your consonant sounds in order to strengthen your vowel sounds. And today we got 2 more pronunciation files that we're going to be taking a look at to try to identify why these speakers have an accent. What can they do if the goal is to achieve a more natural sound? What they can do to get that working for them. We'll listen to each of these files a couple times and give some feedback. Here is our first file for today.
I'd like to congratulate the class of 2011.
Okay, and of course, before we deep dive, I do want to say thank you to everyone who has sent us pronunciation files. It's hard to do a review show without files to review. So thank you to everyone for doing that. Let's take a listen to this clip once more.
I'd like to congratulate the class of 2011.
Okay, so there's a couple of things happening here that I think are lending this a less natural sound. The first situation is something that I call bobbing. It's not the actual name, but bobbing is this situation where you can imagine, for instance, if you have water and you have something that's like on the surface of the water, okay, and like it kind of goes above the water a little bit, and then it goes below, and it goes up and down a lot. That verb is called bobbing. Okay, if anyone here likes to fish, if you like to go fishing, they have all kinds of different tools and things you can attach to your hooks so they can bob at the surface for some of the fish you want to get. But from an English perspective, when this happens, it becomes a little bit distracting. In worst case scenarios, it actually makes it harder to understand what someone is saying. And it happens especially with regards to pitch.
I'd like to congratulate the class of 2011.
Typically, this happens when we have a lot of stresses in a short amount of time, and each of those stresses is kind of returning to more or less the same pitch. And that's exactly what I'm hearing in this case.
I'd like to congratulate the class of 2011.
It's like, I'd congratulate class 2011. That's kind of the impact. And so what that does is it creates a very choppy effect because everything you say keeps returning back to the previous point. It doesn't allow us to tap into the full pitch range that American English expects of us.
I'd like to congratulate the class of 2011.
So, for instance, we talk a lot about before how American English requires a very wide pitch range. It's like if I do something like duh, see how it starts really high, duh, and it ends really low. Duh. We need to tap into that full range of pitches in order to achieve a natural sound in American English, but this is not going to let us do that.
I'd like to congratulate the class of 2011.
Because it's kind of the difference between saying, I'd like to congratulate the class of 2011, and I'd like to congratulate the class of 2011. Do you hear the difference in pitch range here? So a couple of suggestions. The first suggestion, when you stress a word, don't go so high in pitch. We're going a little bit too high. And what's happening is all your stressed words are returning to the same pitch. And American English is not going to be looking for that. So that's the first tip. The second tip I will say is that when you change a thought group, we have to change the pitch level. Change the thought group, change the pitch level. What's happening is we keep returning to the same pitches.
I'd like to congratulate the class of 2000.
It's like, I'd like to congratulate the class versus like, I'd like to congratulate the class. Do you see that now we have three pitch ranges? I'd like to congratulate the class. Now we have a wider pitch range. Okay, so change the thought group, change the pitch. The very last thing I'll say is I think if we play around more with our concepts of firmness and softness, so a firm voice, this is a firm voice, this is a firm way of talking, versus softness, this is a softer voice. It's not just about volume, it's about adding more breath, making our consonants less harsh. Okay, so playing more with firmness and softness, not everything needs to be firm. And right now, everything is very firm. Okay, so hopefully those 3 tips help you achieve a more natural sound for this file. I think they'll help a lot. Thanks for sending that. Thanks to everyone once more for sending things. Before we take a look at our next video and final video for today, I do just want to highlight channel members. So first of all, if you are a channel member, thank you for entrusting me with being part of your accent journey. If you're thinking about or wondering about what does that join button mean, like when you see that little join button, you might see it kind of in this corner down here. If you're watching on YouTube, what do channel members actually get? Well, I like to think that our channel memberships are some of the most beneficial, because what happens is if you're a channel member, you get to actually watch all of our live group coaching sessions. They happen, for instance, today we're going to have a session from 9 to 9:30. We're going to have a session from 10 to 10:40. We're going to have a session from 11 to 11:30, and then we're going to have a session from 9 to 9:30. And we do that same schedule again on Wednesday. We do a similar schedule on Monday. And then on Fridays, we have classes from 10 to 10:40 and 11 to 11:30. All of these times, New York. Okay, so this could be something that if you're trying to improve your pronunciation and get a more natural sound and see what difference happens when people make changes to their own speech, I think that you'll enjoy it. The best part too is you get to see the previous classes as well. So that way, I mean, hey, we have a lot of classes on deck. So you join today, you already can get started with many, many, many different classes as well. So I hope that is something that you are able to take advantage of if it's something that interests you. All right, let's take a listen to our second file for today.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to record my voice here. And
All right, thanks again for sending this file. Let's take a listen to this one more time.
thank you for giving me this opportunity to record my voice here. And
Okay, so the biggest reason why I think someone would hear this voice and immediately know that they are not a native speaker is firstly because of placement and breath. We're talking really high. So I'm talking kind of down here. You can hear it in the resonance in my voice, but you can hear like in this voice that's speaking, there's not a lot of resonance because you can hear that difference, right? If I were to talk like this and if I were to talk like this, what's happening is we're just projecting very, very high.
thank you for giving me this opportunity to
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to. Do you hear the difference between that? Thank you for giving me this opportunity to. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to. So what's happening? The biggest thing is that the placement's too high to achieve a natural sound. This is automatically going to characterize it as not being someone from North America. I can tell you that off the bat. One way that you could immediately try to lower that placement is by adding more resonance and breath. We need to engage the diaphragm more. If you go to the homepage on the channel, so youtube.com/fluentamerican, there's a playlist at the bottom. It just talks about breath techniques and adding breath. We just don't have a lot of breath here. Your lungs are doing so much of the work and your diaphragm's doing so little that it's going to be very hard to kind of get the natural resonance that you're going to be looking for a more natural accent. So that's the very first thing, is that our placement's just a bit high. We're almost talking top of throat, somewhere in the back of a mouth area, instead of lower towards the chest. In addition to that, there's a couple consonant sounds that are coming through that I think are causing a little bit of issue.
thank you for giving me this opportunity to record my voice here. And
Okay, some consonants that I think would be worth reviewing. Firstly, V's. It's like record my voice, record my voice. That V is getting very soft. It's turning into W almost, like record my voice versus record my voice. Another consonant that may be worth reviewing is R sounds. So I believe that the last word was here in this clip.
thank you for giving me this opportunity to record my voice here. And
Like here versus like here, What I always, describe to students for the R sounds is R sounds need to be present but not dominant. A lot of people, when they learn the American English R, they take it too far. You know, they're doing like, or the other side is that they take it too light, and that's kind of what we have here, like here versus here, So we need to hear the R sound, but we don't want it to take over everything. That's the big suggestion I have. So record my voice here, record my voice here, So I would just watch out for that, okay?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to record my voice here. And
a final thing I'll say is that as you continue working on your placement and your breath, one of the things you're going to find is that they may help a little bit with some of your linking as well. Right now, because the diaphragm's really not being engaged a ton, and because our placement's so high, that's making our consonant sounds a little bit extra punchy and adding a lot of clarity to consonant sounds, which is great. This is very clear speech. Like it's not difficult to understand, but I don't think anyone's going to take it for a natural accent. And if we want a more natural accent, do we have to, again, get that breath involved, which is going to open up some things with regards to linking. So, for instance, when I hear the word opportunity.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to.
So there's a lot of things, for instance, like true T sounds that I'm hearing, like t, which is great. Nothing wrong with the T. There's lots of ways to pronounce T sounds. Very frequently in how we used it in this phrase, I would expect more of like fast D, flap T sounds. So I said opportunity to, like opportunity to, or reduction is like opportunity to. Okay. So I would also watch out for those things. Play it one more time.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to record my voice here. And
yeah, so those would be my big comments for this audio file. Thank you as well for sending this. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Look, there's a lot of pronunciation review resources out there, many other channels and things like that. So the fact you spent a little bit of time out of your day here with me is greatly appreciated. I hope you find these tips helpful. Again, if for anyone working on breath, we have that YouTube playlist right on the homepage. And for anyone trying to get a little bit of an idea of what it's like to work with me and improve your own placement, your own pitch, your own breath, your own weakening consonant sounds, all the aspects of pronunciation you need to achieve a natural sound, I do hope you hang out with us in the YouTube channel membership program, because again, we're teaching a lot of classes today, and all of them I think are going to be able to give you a little bit greater insight into what you need to achieve a more natural sound. Once again, my name's Jeff, Rise of Breath. It's one of the 4 keys in natural sound in American English. I will see you all later. I hope you have a good day, have a good night, and a good afternoon.